Now we are recording, so go for it. So guys, we've got, first of all, Kim on the call tonight. So Kim is from Kimnastix. It's the gymnastics studio across the road from us. Me and Kim have done a ton of work together before with gymnastics seminars, and really like dive deep into teaching the handstand and teaching some gymnastics progressions. So what she's going to go over tonight is a ton of different like body positions that are involved in gymnastics and how we can incorporate that into our training to become better and more well-rounded athletes. So I'm going to take Kim off mute and we will get stuck into it. Just give me 2 seconds, Kim. All right, Kim, go for it.
Okay. Hey, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. So I'm just going to go over, as I said before, from Tommy's list, the things that you can do to improve and incorporate more gymnastics into your training and your workouts. So gymnasts train, or competitive gymnasts train, for anywhere from 6 to 30 hours a week, which is pretty crazy when you think about how many hours you might train yourself a week. A large portion of their training is comprised of strength, mobility, conditioning, flexibility, shaping, before they do any skills. So, the higher level girls like Sierra or Bree do train at 4 hours at a time. So it's a big chunk of time and a lot to get through. They're really looking for the ideal model. And I think that we could, all try and look for a better model when we're doing our skills as well. But with that in mind, it's important to include like a wide variety of strength and mobility into your workouts that aim to strengthen all body areas. From my own experience, I wish I had have done more shoulder prep work because I've had a lot of shoulder issues. So, you have to sort of work out what your issues are and really work on them. So hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I'm doing lots of shoulder mobility work at the moment to try and improve the strength around my shoulders. So gymnastics is fun. You get to do lots of playing and laughing at yourself. It's very character building. And like we've got adults classes, so when we go back to work, I'm going to give us a shameless plug there. Come over and have some fun with us. The most obvious benefits of gymnastics play is improved flexibility, muscular strength, endurance, bone health, coordination. It develops discipline, and it enhances your self-esteem. And I think that's probably something we could all do with a bit of from time to time, just feeling great about ourselves. Now, I think with that in mind, you should, maybe try when the gym's back open to try and get in a little bit earlier, either before class or after class, and pick a couple of accessories that you can work on, which will only make things better for you in the long term. So I'm going to go over some basic shapes, and these are so basic. Oh, hold on, I have to decline the phone call. Did that work?
Yep.
Oh, where are you? I can't find you.
Top corner of your screen, it will be like a little...
Oh, there it is. Sorry. How rude. I thought I turned that off. So I'm going to go over some really basic body shapes, and these are staple shapes, and they're real building blocks to better handstand when you're, vertical handstands or handstands against the wall, or just general shaping. And the first one is what we call a lazy cat. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you. You can see, I think you can see my body shape quite well. So you can see here I'm doing a lazy cat, but I've got a very rounded back, so I'm going to try and tilt my hips. Can you see my back flattening?
Yep.
Yeah. So here you're like this,
but we need to really try to tilt our hips up and flatten our back out so you look quite straight there.
So you're trying, in that, Kim, sorry, you're trying to flatten out through your upper back, like through your
I
thoracic.
am. I'm trying not to have this rounded body shape, which closes our shoulders.
So it's a shoulder extension drill, or like a thoracic extension exercise to get you in a better overhead position.
Yeah, and we call it just a lazy cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, just you can practice that exercise where you're just sort of tilting your hips a bit. Anyway, then I want you guys to try and do them on boxes. Can you see me properly?
Yep.
Yep. That same shape, but you're going to put it up onto a box. With your knees on the box, you're walking your hands in, and again, trying to flatten that back out. So does my back look straight?
Yep.
So you can see I'm rounded like this, but I'm straighter like that. So they're basic movements that you can work on to improve your arm, shoulder strength, and just your awareness of being on your arms without actually being that high up and out of control of your body. So making sure you're keeping your hands nice and wide while you're doing those. Any work on your hands, you should have wide hands and fingers facing forward. I know it's easier for you guys to go like that. I guess it's just personal preference. So from there, you can do those bunny hops free of the box. So if I put that there, you're trying to make that shape in the air there. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Yeah, thumbs up. Thanks, Tommy, for answering me. I know nobody else can. So working on that shape is quite an important one as a great base start.
What do you call those, Kim?
So they're all cool. So it's a lazy cat on the ground, and then it's a bunny hop, either on the box or free, standing. And working on those movements is a pretty good idea. And I'm sure that if you did lots of them, you'd feel improvement in your handstands as you got along. The next one is moving into the air and just working through 4 basic shapes. So I'm going to kick this out of the road. Starting in the air, going into a lunge, trying to maintain this nice one-legged shape, and then kicking over into an L handstand, and then coming back to the lunge again. So can everybody see that? Yeah?
What do you call those, Kim? Because that helped me learn the handstand when you taught me how to do handstand walks.
So we call that an L handstand. So you're just trying to make that right angle with your legs.
Yeah.
So you're not joining the other leg to it yet. So I'm going over these shapes because I feel like it gives you a better awareness of where you are, where your body is in the space that you're in. And they're just great things to master. There's one step up off the other one. So it just makes sense when you get to the handstand that much more. Because I know handstand walking is all what you want to do, and it's such a huge thing in CrossFit, but it shouldn't be the first thing you go for. So my motto is let's crawl before we walk. You know, you want to have great shapes, and that'll build better handstand walking as you go along. So the various things which I really can't show you in my garage here, or I can, are for handstands are obviously wall handstands, both forwards and backwards, where you're kicking up to the wall and holding, and then when you're coming around and doing your wall walks, they're also really good. And you can also, while you're there, work on your shoulder taps. So when you're doing your wall walks and you're up the wall, say, that way, yes. You're working on this because this is movement, which is part of, you know, where you're going to go with your handstand walking. You can even tap your head. You know, it's a little bit harder, but it's all giving you awareness. I'm a little teapot, no. And then from there, you can work on things like going into your handstand free. And another one I think is a good one for when you're working on your balance is a stag handstand. Does anyone know what a stag handstand is? Yeah. Could you please show us, Steph? Where's your daughter? Where's Bree? Quick, come on, someone do a stag. So the stag handstand is actually my logo up on the roof. And this is a good one to work on when you've got that vertical awareness. You feel comfortable here. So off you go, Sierra, watching Harker's screen. Okay, so it's a good way, and drop the leg down, bend the top leg. Sierra, bend the top leg, like the logo, That's a girl. So that's a good way. You can't really see, but it helps you counterbalance before you join your legs together and start walking. Can she do that? Legs together, walk? No? She's going backwards. But I think you guys get the general idea. So there's so many stages that you can work through, and working through those stages is going to guarantee great handstands, I can assure you. So there was another topic that Tommy wanted me to talk on from there, and that was how you build a nice strong core, you know. So it's important to have a good strong core when you're vertical. So your hollow holds and rocks, and maintaining good form throughout those skills. Also your arch holds and rocks, so forwards and backwards, working your opposing body parts. Basic, going back to these shoulder taps and head taps. You can do them just in your front support position as well. So that's a good way to train, you know, that and head. So lots of those is also building a good strong core, and working on those before you go to the wall and do them is a good idea too. Lots of in and outs. So these are good ones. Out, in, and the Russian twist. So we all know the Russian twist, because we want to also make sure that we're working on our transverse abdominals as well. Another one I like, which we do in the gym, and it's a very slow one, is just getting your elbows down behind your knees in a straddle position. These are great ones, and they look easy, but they really, really burn, especially the next day. Also jackknives, which are great, but if you can try and do them so that you're moving much slower than a really fast jackknife. So really slow jackknives. And GHD sit-ups and back raises are great as well. So that's going to build a nice strong core, which is obviously going to filter through to the rest of your body when you're trying to engage everything in vertical. So if anyone's got any questions.
I got a few, Kim. That was, those, going back to those drills that you showed at the start, can I get you to show those again? Just the bunny hop one and the needle kick. Well, I call it a needle dick. You call it a...
Did you say needle dick?
I said needle dick. Yeah, I said dick. I meant kick. I call it a needle kick, but you call it something else.
Well, what I said was it goes through 4 stages.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Perfect. That was my next question for you.
It goes through the starting position, which is the lunge. And the big, I think a big problem with a lot of lunges is people tend to do this whole thing where they're starting with this really wide lunge when really they only need to have a shorter lunge. So you start in that position and you finish in this position. So start, finish, right there. So 1 and 4. And then you're going to go over into the arabesque. I'm not very good. I'm not very stable. I'm on a bit of a spongy mat too. So you're going to go here and then kick to here. So it's 4 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Learning that's probably the biggest takeaway I got, I think, when I came over and did the gymnastics clinic with you, was that like 1, 2, 3, 4 in that like L kick or needle kick position.
Yeah.
Like breaking it down, and like it was kind of an easy drill. It didn't look like you're doing much, but that's what I went from, like no handstand walk to being able to walk like 5 meters that day. Okay. And then like 10 meters up. It was so much of it was just in the positioning and like where you place your hands and breaking it down and like kicking over the same way every single time and making it repeatable.
Yeah, setting that routine or sequence in your head.
Yeah.
So that brain, automatically goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So, these positions are something that we break down in gymnastics, teach to the kids in little blocks, and all those blocks make up this, awesome skill, whatever it is. So
if you had someone that was like, they're nowhere near a handstand walk, like it freaks them the hell out kicking over, and they've got like 10 minutes a day they want to spend kind of working towards getting comfortable overhead, what would your progressions be, or what would be like the free exercises that you give them to work towards or work on to build up to that?
So I would definitely give them, to work up to it, I would give them, if they were confident and they had the upper body strength to hold their own body weight. Would that be what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would do the bunny hop on the box. And I would do the bunny hop free. So, and then I would do the one I just showed you.
The 4-point drill, the kick over. Yeah. They're the ones that I did heaps of in my training when I was like learning the handstand, and they helped so much.
Yeah.
Those 3 were so good.
And then I would move on to the handstands up the wall, forwards and backwards, working on the lots of shoulder taps, and head taps, anything that was going to mimic that movement that you're making when you're walking with your hands. And because if you master the handstand and you can hold that handstand on your own, then it's going to make walking that much easier. You're going to be more switched on and more engaged physically as a whole.
Yeah, I think those drills that you showed, they were like the linchpin that was holding me back from handstand and handstand walking. I think that's probably the biggest thing that CrossFitters need to work on, because we spend so much time overhead anyway. Like we do handstand push-ups, we do plate holds, dumbbell thrusters, barbell thrusters. So you've got strength locked out overhead and you've spent so much time there, but what you've never worked on is the movement.
That I must point out too, and it's more prevalent in males than it is in females, and it's got a lot to do with how they lock their elbows out. I find that, and this is the same inside the gym as it is in younger kids, as I see it is in CrossFit. It might have a lot to do with, men's shoulders are bigger, they're more built or whatever, and women are generally just that little bit leaner. But the elbow locking out is going to also help with strength or being able to maintain that position.
because, well, we all know that when the elbow bend, you lose power, so the power ends. So it's better to try and work in a locked out elbow. That was just something that came to mind.
So that's your progressions, guys, is spend more time working on those bunny hops and that 4-point drill. We've got a question, Kim. It's from Tish. It is.
I'm looking at that now.
Yeah, you can read that. So I'll just read it out for everyone.
I think the bent leg going over is great for CrossFitters and for people like adults who probably aren't as flexible. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to matter too much. It's going to make entry and exit into handstands for adults better. Bent leg. You're not at the Olympics. You're not being judged. Yeah.
But do you want to explain the scorpion back? I know you hate that.
Oh, I didn't bring it up because I sound like a broken record, but
yeah,
seriously, it puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. It's probably not that great for you, and I think that repetitively you could end up with some lower back issues.
The scorpion back, for anyone that doesn't know or listening to this and can't kind of picture, it's where instead of holding a handstand or doing a handstand walk and just being dead straight like that as you kind of go along, it's like having your legs sit way over, so your legs are like touching you on the back of the head, and you're in like a really big extent through your low back.
Yeah.
And it's just horrendous.
That's all about core stability, engaged hips. Everything should be, as I said, switched on and upright. I think the scorpion, legs, though, I think it helps CrossFitters sort of counterbalance a little bit.
Well, it helps you get a bit of momentum, right, to start kind of falling forward.
Yeah. I've seen that. Hold on, let me just get into it. Like, I just feel like why isn't it?
Do you want me to read the question out?
Yeah,
It says, it's from Tish again. My biggest problem is balance and keeping stable. Other than the drills, is there anything else that can help with that?
Repetition and probably more core work to help that, you maintain that better balance. Repetition and core, lots of it. As I said before, gymnasts are doing 6 to 30 hours a week. They may get an hour on apparatus. The rest of the time they're on the floor being smashed with their core, smashed with their upper body strength, smashed with their balance skills. Like, these guys they just cop it, especially in the higher levels, like levels 5 and above. So I would say more repetition. I've bungee jumped and skydived. And you're still alive, Victor. Kelly says, I have no issue kicking over to the wall, but struggle with the wall walks. So I guess, I don't know, again, repetition, more upper body strength. I'm struggling with wall walks at the moment too. My shoulders are so weak. It's all repetition in gymnastics. Kids get taught the same things over and over and over and over again in different ways.
I think in wall walks as well versus like a handstand, the difference is you've got to have enough strength to take one arm off the floor for a millisecond while you move it. So I think it's more of a strength thing, right? Like, whereas holding a handstand, you've got 2 arms to support my 80 kilos of body weight. But when I start doing a wall walk, I'm taking 1 arm off. So 1 arm supporting my 80 kilos of body weight. So just more time doing that will develop more strength, and more time on overhead.
On one arm too.
Yeah.
Like, even just trying to, actually, I had on the list here too, obviously shoulder mobility, scap retractions, But I saw a video the other day where, you know, they were doing them one-armed, which I thought was probably pertinent to handstand walking with that range and that mobility.
As in a scap protraction or a scap retraction?
Retraction. But
yeah, so hanging basically from a bar.
Yeah. I thought that would be a useful thing to try.
Yeah.
Into the gym with regards to, just
I've got another question, Kim. It's got nothing to do with really CrossFit, but like with the kids doing like 20 hours a week, I've just always been interested in this. How many hours of that is skill development work and how many hours of that is strength work for, say, someone that's like a guy like that's trying to compete at a high level? Like how much of that is gymnastics strength-based work and how much of that is them trying to practice skills on the pole or on the beam and stuff?
On the beam, yeah. So
like that.
It depends on what phase of the season they're in. So we go through different phases, and we could be in a competition phase, or we could be in a highly strength and conditioning phase. So, like, it depends really. Usually at the beginning of the year, skills aren't even performed, not big skills. Like when we go back to the gym, these kids won't be coming in and chucking backflips on beams. They're like, the most of their programming and sessions will be based on strength and conditioning in the first few weeks.
And do you guys do any weight training, or is it all body weight training that you do?
The level 5s to 7, they do weight training. We use kettlebells, barbells, hand weights, leg weights. Yeah.
Sweet, guys. Any other questions? If anyone else has got a question, you can just tap your little bottom screen and unmute yourself and ask a question.
If anyone wants a list of those, of all the progressions too, I'd be more than happy to, when we do go back, run through any of them with you guys.
Doing that clinic, like you gave us those exercises after we did the handstand clinic, and that was, I can't recommend that enough for everyone that's trying to learn a handstand. Like I was nowhere near learning the handstand that day. I just kept falling over on the mats, and I went from like nowhere near to getting, I think, 7 meters that day. And then in the next couple of weeks after that went to like 10 meters and now like 15, 20 meters. So it made like, after like 5 years of CrossFit and never trying a handstand or always being freaked out to like getting it in the next week, it made such a huge difference.
Steph had a question and I want
to... go for it, Steph.
So I'm not scared as much. Like I've skydived and bungee jumped, but doing a handstand freaks me out. Like you've got no idea. As I'm older, is that a normal thing for somebody that's older?
I think one of the things that goes back to gymnastics. It goes back to playing. You know, we need to put our head down below our waists, and we need to reconnect with all those crazy body positions and the way they make us feel.
This is going.
I just walked right into that one. But it's true. We need to get down and play.
Like, but is it normal for as you get older that those kind of?
Well, I mean, I don't know because it hasn't happened to me yet. I've been on my hands for years.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So, I get.
I'm petrified. I'm petrified to go into a handstand. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But I'll jump out of a plane. It's fine.
Some people get vertigo.
Yeah.
Don't they? They get really bad vertigo when they put their head down below their waist. So I don't know whether that's a medical condition or partially because we stopped doing those things.
Yeah, it's probably that.
And that's what I love about CrossFit. You know, it's such a great sport, and it really, I think, helps us reconnect with those really. Well, the fact that we can still do these things. We're getting older, but we're still giving life a go physically, and yeah. Gymnastics and CrossFit go hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a question down there? Oh, yes, definitely. I even did little diagrams. Show them to you.
Oh, cute. Judge Judy?
I love my little diagrams. So I hope I've helped you. Is it half an hour yet? Can I go?
Yes, 40 minutes, Kim.
I've been agonising over this for the last 7 days. When Courtney asked me, I was like, no.
That was really good.
Thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate it.